Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. Trying to figure out why my chat box doesn't show up. I can see the chat box on my phone, but not on my computer screen. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. Anyways, we'll figure it out. I'll just have to watch it on my phone. So bear with me if you're in the chat box and you leave me a message. I'll have to look at my phone every once in a while. Part of being technically challenged, I think. Not really, but anyways, good afternoon, good week. Today's Friday. We got some more snow coming our way. We're in East Tennessee, so we're getting some of this wraparound snow that's coming from the coast. I understand there's quite a storm going to build up tonight on the east coast of the United States and affect the Carolinas, Virginia again, those states. I guess North Carolina is supposed to get a lot of, hello Sherry, how are you? North Carolina is supposed to get a lot of snow this time. We had our fair share last weekend, snow and ice. Farther west from us, they had a lot more problems than we had. Nashville way. We did get some ice, but we did not lose power. Well, I say we did not lose power. We did not lose power, but there was a problem here at the property. And the pole that's out front that carries the wire from across the street from the transformer to my property, Saturday morning snapped and broke. And I didn't really realize it for a while. And then I realized it. We still had power. We still had the internet. Both of those things are on that pole, but the pole was laying down in the yard, and I finally called 911 to get some immediate response. Well, the electric company showed up, and probably within about 2 hours, they came, they put a new pole in, put all the wires back on the pole, and we just lost power. He come knocked on our door and told us we was going to be without power for about an hour. So we was real fortunate this time. Back in 2015, I was not so fortunate. I was without power for 3 days, and it was brutal. Okay, we had no generator, no heat. It was brutal. We couldn't go to a motel because all the motels in the area were full. So we just kind of toughed it out in our house. So hey, my hats are off to the linemen of the world, the first responders, all them people. They do a wonderful job for all of us. Okay, none of us have any reason whatsoever to complain about that. That's for sure. Anyways, a couple things I want to cover in the live stream today. I'm working on some new videos, and I kind of wanted to hear from you what you think about some of these subjects that I'm going to be covering in the next couple of videos that I put out. But I've been sitting here doing a lot of thinking about some things, and I think it's time for me to kind of move off from the I can live on my Social Security kick, because we all know it can be done. I do have a budgeting video coming out Sunday for the month of February. Or the month of January, I'm sorry, and I'm kind of keeping track of that and trying to do some comparisons and see how I do throughout the year. So I will be doing those videos still. That comes out this Sunday. Lisa's in Maryville, that's right, just outside the Smokies, so waiting for the snow to start. Yeah, Lisa's supposed to get more snow east of us than we are. We're on the western fringe of this cyclone bomb, they call it, or something. But anyways, I'm going to move off a little bit from the actual talking about Social Security, and you can live on that. We pretty much covered all that. What I do want to do is I want to cover some additional topics that will probably affect us as seniors and retirees. But one of the subjects that I want to tackle is long-term health care. Now, I've had some comments on a few of my videos. I have never covered that subject, and some people have asked me, do you have that? Do you have long-term health care insurance? And I thought, that would be a really good topic to cover, how I feel about that and do some research into it. So I've been doing some research into it. Looking at insurance cost, different ways you can insure yourself, between buying insurance. But at our age, from what I understand, it's too late. Okay, if you don't have long-term health care insurance now, you should have started this back in your early 50s or middle 40s. Okay, because the cost of it could be outrageous. The best thing I think we could do right now is save. Okay, as much as we can. And when I got to thinking about long-term health care insurance and long-term health care in general, I got to thinking about some other things like, who's going to take care of me when I get old? Okay, I don't think either one of my son or my stepson is going to take care of me or my wife. Her and I have talked about this a little bit, and I pretty much told her, I said, we're pretty much on our own, honey. It's just you and me. Okay, we got to take care of each other. Yeah, Joe, and I'm going to cover that in my video as soon as I get it put together. I have some experience with that. My parents are living next door to me, and there's a whole story about that. Not a saga, but a whole story about that. And it's become acutely aware of me, of their situation. They're both 88 years old. And what's funny is they don't think about this. Long-term health care. They do not think about this. We've not talked about it, but about the only thing we've talked about is pre-arranging your funeral. And that's another topic I'm going to come up and talk about in a future video. But we've talked about doing that with them, and they are agreeable to that. Okay, they both want to be cremated, but we've yet to go down and actually do it. They have gone down to one of the local funeral homes and talked to them and got the prices of pre-arranging your cremation, and we have actually not done it. Okay, and every once in a while I bring it up and mention it to them. I don't want to force them into anything, and then they'll say, yeah, we need to go do that, but then they don't go do that. So I'm going to have to really push on it a little bit and try to get them to go and do that. I've got some experience with this, and I'll talk about that in my video. That's going to be another video I put out pretty soon. I think both of these videos, long-term health care and the pre-arranging your funeral, will come out in February. Okay, just as soon as I can put those together myself. But yeah, Joe, the cost of caring for elderly in a nursing home is criminal. From what I understand, just based on some research I've done already, the average cost of a full-out nursing home stay is about $8,000 to $9,000 a month. Okay, if you string that out for the whole year, you're talking about $96,000 or $100,000 a year. Okay, to be in a nursing home. Yeah, there's ways around it, but the long-term health care insurance is not even the answer for the whole amount. Okay, from what I understand. But anyways, we're going to talk about that and the prearranged funeral things, and we're going to talk about the Medicaid and stuff. But one other topic I want to talk about this month is senior parents. I don't know how many are on my channel, my subscribers, who have senior parents that they take care of. I know Kath does. She's in here in the chat box, K26, KV31. She has an elderly mother, but her mother does not live close by. She has to travel to go see them. So that's one of the things that I'm going to cover is dealing with senior parents on a daily basis, okay? And I have a lot of experience with this, okay? I've been doing this for about 2 years now, and it's getting more acute with me because they live right next door. So we've had some things come up in the last couple of weeks with my mother, and we've made some adjustments to her medication, and she seems to be doing better with that. But there's a little bit of pre-dementia there, maybe about a stage 3. And if you don't know what those stages are, you can Google them. But there's like 7 stages of dementia. And there's different types of dementia. But when they say Alzheimer's, that's not really the word for it. It's just a cognitive decline in their brain. And there's several, I think there's like seven different stages of that. Joe said, my father's almost 94. 4 and lives on his own. Bless his heart, okay? I'm blessed my sisters live close to him in Texas and can help him out. That's great. And that happens a lot, you know, where parents are not near you, where you can actually do that. And, you know, yeah. Cass says she watched at least 10 people get picked up or dropped off by Uber, like drivers at the ER when we had to make a visit to the ER the other day. Yeah, my mom was in the ER about a little over a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, and we were down there. When we got to the ER, I won't forget this. It was on a Friday afternoon. It was about 3 o'clock, okay? And she was taken from the doctor's office to the ER, and my dad and I were here at home. We got a phone call. We had to go down there. When we got to the ER waiting room, there was like only one other person in the waiting room, okay? And they finally brought her in on the ambulance, took her back, had her back there. I was back in the room with her for about 5 or 6 hours. When I walked out, the whole damn waiting room was full of people, okay, sick people. And I said, just let me get out the door, okay, let me go that way. It's amazing how quick the ER filled up, and every bed back in the ER, every room was full of people. So it's pretty amazing. And we don't live in a big city, okay? We live in a smaller town, but it's amazing. I think the cold weather really brings this out a lot, okay? There was a lot of, what I seen was a lot of elderly people in there, and we'd had a cold spell for about two or 3 days, so there could have been some issues with the cold spell. Yeah, Joe says it's a huge preparation, and it is, okay? It just depends on how deep you want to go into funeral home or your funeral planning, and depends on your beliefs too. Joe's mother and father had their wishes pre-planned. When my mother passed, it made it a lot easier. Yes, and I'm going to cover all that in my video. There's a lot of common sense, and there's things that I did not know that I learned from the funeral home, okay, by talking to them. And I helped my wife and her sister with their mother's funeral. It's about a year and a half ago now, I think, when she passed. And she didn't pre-arrange her funeral, but what she had done is she had bought a cremation policy years ago, paid minimal for it, okay? And when we got to when she passed away and they took her to the funeral home over in Knoxville, which is about 50 miles away, it was the closest funeral home that accepted the cremation policy she bought. But when we got over there, we sat down with the funeral home people, and I listened to every single word they said, and I learned a whole lot that afternoon, okay? Things I did not know. And those things that I did find out, I'm going to be applying those to my parents, okay? And they want to be cremated. My wife and I want to be cremated. That's our beliefs too. But everybody has different beliefs, and funerals are cost different, okay, depending on what you want to have done. Hey David, how you doing? David's from Indianapolis. How's it going up there? How's your weather going? Okay, you getting all thawed out up there? Anyways, we're going to do that. I'm going to do about 3 different videos this month. Let's see. Oh, I got a question for y'all, okay? This came up today. It's kind of funny because I posted a Walmart video today, and I do that every once in a while just to kind of mix it up on the channel, and I kind of enjoy doing them. They're a lot of fun to do. But I do have a question for y'all. The question is this: how many of you on the live stream use those Walmart personal shoppers? How many actually call your order in and let Walmart put it all together and bring it out to your car? I want to know, because I don't do that. I'm still old-fashioned. I still go into Walmart. I still get my cart. I still walk around and do my grocery shopping. And believe me, after you've gone to the grocery store as many times as I've gone, I do all the grocery shopping, by the way, you've got the aisles memorized. In fact, I've had people, you could tell that they're looking for something. I said, can I help you? And they said, do you know where so-and-so is? I says, yeah, aisle A7. I think I was there one day, and I think this one lady asked me a question. I was in the aisle there, and she said, and I said, ma'am, I would be glad to help you, but I don't work here. I mean, she acted like I worked at Walmart, okay? Hey, Todd. Hi, how you doing? Where are you from, Todd? Let us know where you're from. Yeah, Kath does. She's already told me she does, okay? Joe, I agree with you 100%. If you watched my Walmart video, you hear me comment that there's more Walmart employees in the aisles than there are people. And you get down there in the aisle, and there'll be 4 or 5 of them with them big old carts they got, and they'll be down there just talking. They'll be down there visiting, blocking the whole damn aisle. And it kills me. In the video I just posted yesterday, if you get on into the vegetable section, I stood there and waited for a Walmart shopper to get out of my way. Okay, she had her car parked right where I needed to be, where I wanted to be. I wanted to get some broccoli, and or carrots or something, and she kept going away from the cart, picking up something, bringing it back to the cart, then go away from the cart again, left it sit there the whole 5 minutes or so. Finally, she moved, okay? And when I went over, you'll see her in the video, when I went over to get my broccoli, she was there off to my camera right. She was trying to get in there where I was at, okay? I forget what dropped off this thing, off of the thing, and I picked it up off the floor, but she was standing right there, a young girl trying to get to where I was at. And I was like, geez, give me a break. And I don't care what time of day, I don't care what time of day you go in there. You could probably go in there about 7 o'clock at night and they wouldn't be there. But I don't do my shopping at 7 o'clock at night. I used to go on Sundays, and now I go on Tuesdays, and I'm not even sure that's a good day of the week to go. Okay, I thought Tuesday would be better than Sunday. Let's see. I got somebody, I can't pronounce their name. Kulipa. What's your name? I don't do Walmart, but I do Target, okay? Nope, Todd, I agree. I don't approve of them picking my produce. So if I was going, and I'm considering, okay, I don't know if I'll do this or not. I might just try it one time and order my stuff and see and pull up out there like everybody else does and let them pile it in the back of my truck. But there are probably some things I would not let them pick. Okay, because I'm kind of picky. Like if I go to the bakery section and I like the Walmart Italian bread that's sliced already, and they make that there in the store, and I'll look at the date it was made, okay, because if you come home and leave it on your counter, it'll go bad in about 4 or 5 days. When we get to about the 4th day, we have to stick what we haven't eaten yet into the refrigerator to keep it from turning moldy. But yeah, and it's worse in the summertime. So I would want to make sure that the product had not expired. My wife does not like dented cans. I have to watch for that. Okay, I'm sure the Walmart shoppers wouldn't do that. They're just grabbing stuff off the shelf. They got a little thing in their hand and they're looking for it like this. I'm surprised one of them haven't asked me if I could help them if I could help them find something. There's been a few times that I've asked them to tell me where something was in the store and they'll look it up for me. Yeah. Parsons, Tennessee. How you doing, Todd? Welcome then. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the live stream, I mean. So Lisa uses, okay, Cass says she gets annoyed by the Walmart shopping carts. Well, it's you people. It's you people that are ordering your stuff online that causes them shopping carts to be in there. It's funny. She gets annoyed by the carts. So Lisa, she uses the online app and uses their delivery service. I'm a Walmart Plus subscriber. Okay, I'm not a Walmart Plus subscriber, but today Tim sent me a text message. Okay, let me read what he told me. Okay, he after my Walmart video was posted today, he says, what did he say? Okay, this is what Tim said. With all your trips to Walmart and as much as you purchase, you could use the Ibotta app. It doesn't give you discounts at checkout. It gives you cash back depending on what you buy. If you have a Walmart account and recommended, it will automatically give you cash back. If not, you have to take a picture of the receipt and upload it. Just find Walmart in the app, scroll through the items you want to buy, click on the plus button, might get enough cash back in a year to buy some new camera gear. So he gave me a link to the iBota app, and I did install that and the downloaded app. And what I did was I had a receipt, okay, from Tuesday at Walmart. Here's my receipt from Tuesday, and I scanned this barcode at the very top, this barcode here, and it picked it up. Okay, I don't know what it gave me, but it picked it up and put it into the iBota app. So I don't know how that works yet. I haven't figured it out. I don't have a Walmart Plus. You know, I know I've seen some people shopping in Walmart, and they get to the checkout line and they have their phone, and I don't know what they do. They're doing something. They put all this stuff in the cart. It's in their phone. They hold the phone up to the register and it picks up everything automatically without them having to go through and scan everything. Is that such a thing? I remember about 10 years ago here in Crossville, Walmart started the self-scanning stuff where you had a scan, you picked them up at the door, and they had put a little thing on the cart where you could put this scanner in, like a little hand scanner, and you went shopping and you scanned everything as you put it in your shopping bag. We have our own shopping bags. We don't use the plastic bags. We got paid shopping bags we bought. And I said, this ain't gonna work in Crossville, Tennessee. Somebody's gonna rip Walmart off, okay? So they had it for a little while, and then and I was getting used to it, of taking the scanner, you know, you pick it off the shelf, you bleep it, and you put it in your shopping bag, and you go on, okay? And then when you got done, you just paid for it. I don't even remember how we paid for it, but we paid for it and put the scanner back and left. And I said, this ain't gonna work in Crossville. I mean, people are gonna be stealing shit, okay? Let's see. Oh, somebody retracted his message. I didn't get to see it. Maybe one of y'all seen it. So Joe gets helped. I get helped. I get asked to help too. A lady who can't reach something on the top shelf or whatever. I went to Tractor Supply a while ago and got some bird seed because it's on sale at Tractor Supply right now. And I was coming through the parking lot, and the lady was loading some kind of bedding stuff in the back of her truck. And she says, do you need this cart? She had one of them flatbed carts. I said, no ma'am, I don't, but I'd be glad to take it in for you. She says, I thought you were a gentleman. So I took her cart back for her so she didn't have to take it back. Todd's gotten into gardening since retirement. They bring eggs to you and don't check for breakage. Yeah, I get that, you know. I check eggs, make sure they're not broken. We get our eggs here at home. My wife goes on a Bible study. The lady's got a bunch of eggs, chickens. We get eggs from her. My dad has chickens, and they got more eggs than they can eat. I just got a dozen from him the other day, some really nice brown eggs, okay? He's got 3 chickens and a rooster, so he gets like 3 eggs a day. And I said, yeah, well, I might as well eat them. You're paying for all that feed over there, you know. Lori said, I don't think I'll ever have them pick out my groceries. If something isn't there that I want to figure out the substitute. Yeah, that's all part of shopping, you know. I'm just not sure I'm going to be able to do that. But I am going to try this iBota thing and see if I get some cash back on that. You know, there was a time that Walmart had a, I forget what it was on their app, but you could get a discount, okay? Like, I don't know what it was. I mean, it was like about $150, $200 a year coming back to me through the app, okay? And then they quit doing that, okay? I don't know. They just do things and then they quit. Cassie, yep, you can scan as you go, then just pay at the end of your trip. Okay, so I guess you scan on your phone. Do you have to be a Walmart Plus member to do that? I do notice when I pay for my groceries at Walmart, it'll ask me a question. I think it wants to know if I want to use the Walmart Pay, which I'm not set up for that either, okay? I'm kind of funny about that. I'm old-fashioned about things like that. And it takes me a while to warm up to having my credit card attached to something. Yeah, Lori said, that's a thing. Only mom and pop shops save a lot and Food Giant, and we love it. Okay, I hear that. So we have a Save a Lot here in Crossville. We go there sometimes, but you know, I have been to Kroger's and tried to shop there, but I'm just going to tell you something. If you're buying things like toilet paper and potato chips and very common coffee, that kind of stuff, it's cheaper at Walmart to get that. You know, in fact, I get my toilet paper at Sam's and my paper towels at Sam's. And when I go to Sam's, I'll buy bulk of LeSueur peas or Green Giant green beans. They got them in 8-can packs. And you save a lot by doing that. And those cans aren't going to go bad. And we eat those regularly. Okay, we eat the peas and we eat the green beans regularly. Some of the other things they get at Sam's are sweetener, like Splenda. My wife uses Splenda. I use Truvia, which is like a stevia, which is plant-based sweetener. And then I'm trying to think what else we get. We get laundry detergent from Sam's, although I don't know if Sam's laundry detergent is a whole lot cheaper than Tide is at Sam's, but those big items like that. So I think we save money by doing that. And you know, going to Walmart instead of a regular grocery store for your paper goods, and then even better than that is going to the Dollar General for your cleaning supplies. Okay. Here we are talking about shopping and saving money. Whoever would have thought? Yeah, Todd's always looking for farm fresh eggs. I told my dad, I said, you ought to put a sign out by the road and sell eggs. He just laughed at me. When my wife goes on the Bible study that she goes to, that lady charges $3 a dozen for her eggs. Okay, and they're not all brown. Some of them are green. Okay, and there's actually chickens that lay green eggs. Okay, we used to have some. Okay, back when this was a working establishment here. Okay, when we actually had cattle and chickens and hunting dogs and everything else that here my dad had, we actually had some chickens that laid green eggs. Okay, I'll tell you a chicken story one time. I used to take care of the place in the wintertime. They used to go to Florida all winter long, and I took care of the place. I took care of the cattle. When the water was in the, you know, I had to get up and go to work in the morning, had to leave the house at 5 o'clock in the freezing cold. I had to go out and bust the water for the cows and feed the dogs and everything, you know, put out hay, the whole bit. And I remember this one time, you know, we had a couple hens that they would lay eggs. If you let them free range, they would lay eggs in the craziest places, okay? Not the nest boxes. They would lay eggs in the barn somewhere, on the seat of the tractor, on the seat of the rhino. You find eggs everywhere. Well, this one winter, it was probably in January, I happened to find this one hen out in the barn, in the machine shed, sitting on eggs. I says, ah, shoot, she's gonna hatch these eggs. Sure enough, about a week later, I was out there and I could hear the little cheep, 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 cheep. And I knew there was chickens in there, baby chicks. And we didn't have anything set up to take care of the baby chicks. No heat lamp, no water source like that or anything. So I did put some water out there and some scratch. But the mother took care of them chicks in the wintertime and she raised them. My dad said she wouldn't raise them, they would die. They did not die. She raised them. So then we went from like 6 or 7 chickens to like, before summer hit, we had like 25 or 30 chickens. Okay, we had chickens everywhere. So he started taking some of those chickens to the flea market and selling them. You could sell them back then at the flea market for like $6 a piece, and he started selling some of them. See, Lisa said they use the Fetch app that's very similar to iBota. Okay. Hey, Brian Harder. Brian Harder's in the house. I'm glad you're here because I've been waiting for you to come in here. Hold on 1 minute. I'm going to be right back, folks. You don't want to miss this, okay? I wasn't even prepared for this. Okay, wasn't even prepared for this today, but okay, I got to show you something. My friend Brian Harder, y'all check out his channel, okay, sent me a package, and I have not opened it. I've been waiting for this live stream and hoping he would show up so I could open this in front of him. Now, about a month ago, I did an interview with Brian on the channel here, and before the interview, I sent him a package very similar to this, okay? And in there was a University of Tennessee shirt. And I told him that he had to wear the shirt during our interview, and he did, okay? So right here on live TV, I'm going to open this package from my pen pal friend, Brian Harder, who lives in Iowa City, Iowa, okay? And you're gonna see what he's got in here. Hopefully it wasn't something perishable because it's been sitting on my counter for about a week, okay? Waiting for this live stream. I think it came in last Saturday, okay? So let's see what Brian has sent me here. Whoops. There's a note, okay? There's a note in here from Brian. I'm gonna read it to you, okay? So Brian said, "Good morning, Ron, number 4. And that's a thing with me and Brian. I am Brian's 4th subscriber. I think he's up in the 200s right now, but I always sign off when I leave a comment number 4, and it's kind of a thing. He said I was a little bit slow getting around, pick you out a shirt. It is cold here in Iowa, and I have to get a new battery for my Ford F-150 2018 model. Anyways, I have a busy day and want to get this package in the mail today. Talk to you soon, pen pal. I'm glad you're in my tribe." Brian calls all his members tribe members, okay? So we're gonna see what kind of shirt Brian has sent me here. I should have known something was up, and he asked me what my shirt size was, okay? So yeah, we were talking about having pen pals, all right? So let's see what we got here. Iowa Hawkeyes. Okay, Iowa Hawkeyes. There it is. Brian sent me a shirt, Iowa Hawkeyes. All right, cool. All right, I'm gonna have to wear it on my next live stream just in honor of Brian. Thank you very much, Brian. Yeah, Brian actually he actually pen palled me earlier with another letter after I sent him a shirt. Okay. All right. So if you watch Brian is a retired postal carrier, okay? I think he was a rural postal carrier, and Brian's a retired postal carrier, and he started a YouTube channel last year. But yeah, he sent me this on November the 28th, okay? Anyways, it was pretty cool. So we become pen pals, and we talked about that a couple times. He's talked about it on his channel. So thank you, Brian. Thank you very much for the shirt. I really appreciate it. I love the black color, okay? He said it's X-rated. So let's see. Let me catch up on some of the comments here. Brian said, "Hi Ron, jumped in late, but I hear the discussions about Walmart and I just got back from there." Sherry said, "I find Walmart is cheaper than Kroger's, but there isn't a Walmart near me." True. And Todd said, "Just found your channel today and like what I see, new subscriber." Thank you very much, Todd. Welcome to the tribe. No, that's Brian's word. I can't use that. Welcome to my channel, okay? I'll try not to let you down. Gen X in retirement. There's a new one for you. Luckily, we are in the middle of a few HEB grocery stores in Texas. That must be a local thing down there. HEB, never heard of those before. Joe said he grew up in Houston. HEBs are nice, so he knows what they are. He's in Cypress, northwest side of Houston. Brian said my shirt was X-rated. There's Tim. Hey Tim, got home in time to catch a bit of the stream. There's Tim Childers in there from the New Retired Me. If you haven't checked him out, and I'll tell you why his name is in blue, okay? Tim is a moderator for me, so in case my chat box was to get out of hand by a spammer or something, Tim's in there to kind of squash them, okay, to help me keep after that. I'm a moderator on his channel too when he does his live streams. It's a thing, okay? When you do a lot of live streams, it's a thing. Joe said His family's in Kingwood, and I can't even pronounce that. Atatosia or something like that. Brian, I couldn't remember the shirt size. I might have messed that up. That's okay, Brian. I'll make it fit, okay? I've lost some weight, so I think it'll be fine. Usually what I do when I get a shirt like that that's maybe the wrong size, I just don't put it in the dryer, okay? I have to tell my wife, don't put those shirts in the dryer. In fact, my UT shirt is a little bit tight on me, even though it's an extra large, and I just tell her, don't put it in the dryer, okay? Here's a new one for you, 1225 MJC. Introduce yourself. What's your name there? Hey Ron, new subscriber, like your channel. Thanks for all the info. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. TJ Fishing, Todd, his channel name, if you want Tim's channel name, it's right there with, it's his name. It's if you go and if you want to find somebody's channel, if you just type in www.youtube.com and a / and then put their name in there, at the new retired me, all one word. If you look at his name, it'll take you right to his channel, okay? And then you can subscribe over there. It's just like all the rest of them here. If you type in the name you see in the chat box after youtube.com, and you'll see it, it'll come up, okay? So that's how you can do that. Hey Mike, very nice to meet you, Mike. My name's Ron, okay? This is my channel, All Things Ron. Anyways, I didn't mean to get on a kick about Walmart, but I did want to find out about how many of you actually use those personal shoppers, okay? Because, you know, when I leave Walmart, on one side of the building is a whole place for you to park, okay? And they got numbered stalls. And I guess when you get there, you use your phone and tell them where you're at, okay? And then all of a sudden, the little fairies come out of the door with their little carts and load you up, okay? And I know there's a lot of working mothers, okay? That's what I see a lot over there is working people, working mothers especially on Friday. And I'm sure they sit there at home. You know, they got children to take care of and their household to take care of. They probably sit there on the app and do their ordering. And then they tell them what time they're going to pick it up, which is after work on Friday, okay? So I could see it being a time saver for them. Do they charge for that service? That's a curiosity right there. Do they actually charge for you to pull up out there and for them to load the groceries up for you? I'm sure they charge for delivery. God, I would never try that. I live almost 12 miles from our Walmart, okay? You'd be ordering ice cream and it would come to the house melted. Yeah, I would never do that. Oh, Brian's channel. Well, it's right there. It's at Brian Harder, and he's got some numbers. It's at Brian Harder 1960. Okay, if you look at his name right there, that's how you get to him, okay? Yeah, Joe, you'll enjoy Tim's channel, okay? He gives a lot of good videos out there. He just did he has an additional channel to that, okay? You'll find that out once you're on the new retired me, but it's called Life in Motion Diaries. And this morning he did a cooking video on cooking an omelet. It was pretty cool, okay? He had a new hot plate thing he got for Christmas from his kids, and he used that this morning, which I found really interesting about this hot plate he had. Unfortunately for me, okay, I don't have the counter space to have one of those hot plates on there. You know, if I was living by myself, I probably would, okay? But Tim just went through a kitchen remodel on his channel several months ago. You might want to flip back through his videos and watch that. You know, he actually remodeled his kitchen just so he could do cooking videos. I think that was the story, just so he could do videos on there. Yeah, don't forget to smash the like button. Thank you there, Todd. So Gen X in retirement says he thinks, or they, I don't know if it's a he, it might be a she, I'm sorry, I apologize for that. I think the prices are higher for the personal shopper service. Okay, I would say they would be because there is some labor involved in that for them. And then as he also said, my wife has used it a few times. That's pretty cool. Joe's got 3 daughters too. So does Tim. Yeah, you're welcome, Tim. Okay. so you can get, Mike says you can get a Walmart Plus membership. It's free to pick up your groceries after you order them online. Okay. Do they charge for the Walmart Plus membership? I guess they do. Okay. I'm going to have to do some reading. I am terrible about reading. Okay. If you go pick up your order, it's free. Since I'm a Walmart Plus subscriber, I don't pay for delivery, but I do tip the driver. Okay. I'm a he. I'm Jim. Hey, Jim, nice to meet you. Okay, so I got some names here, Jim and Todd and Mike. But yeah, you know, I don't know. I don't know if I will get that far or not. I've got some reading to do, and as I get older, I'm getting worse about reading. In fact, I think YouTube is ruined me. Okay, I'd rather watch a video on it than read about it. In my younger days, I didn't go to college. Okay, I didn't make it that far, but I consider myself a self-taught person. I spent a lot of time reading about things. You know, back in the 80s, you could buy a magazine subscription on just about anything you were interested in and learn from it. Okay, and it's really hard to do that anymore. These magazines are not there anymore. But I used to do a lot of reading and stuff, and I was in tech for a number of years, and I was actually a programmer, and I taught myself how to be a programmer. Okay, I did not go to school for that. So, and it served me pretty well all my years. And then later on, I switched careers and went into construction type stuff. You know, I was doing some housing, house building, house remodels, things like that, and then moved off into my last job of 15 years, which was basically a heavy equipment operator, is the best I can tell you. Okay, I worked at a off-road park up here in Tennessee for 15 years and ran heavy equipment there, and I was in a supervisory position, and it was one of the reasons I decided I was ready to retire. Okay, it had to do with just everyday stress and what have you. You know, that's a pretty cool discussion on Walmart. I would never thought we would have got into that. Walmart Plus membership is $12.95 a month or $98 annually. Okay, so hey, let me tell you something. If you're wanting to watch these live streams after the fact, they're in a playlist. Okay, you have to go find them because I've been making them unlisted after they come public. YouTube will, after I'm done with this live stream, YouTube will chew on it for a while, probably about 12 to 15 hours before they make it public on my channel. Most subscribers can see it right away and watch it, what have you. Once they make it public, I've been making them unlisted, which means you have to have the actual link to the video to go watch it. You can't just kind of browse my channel and find it. With exception, if you go into my channel and look under playlist, you will see all these public playlists that I have. I've categorized my videos into playlists. Well, one of the playlists is previous live streams. So if you want to go back and watch this, you can. And here's a tip. While you're watching the live stream, if you will click, there's a box or button you have to check that says, I think it says, show the live chat box or something like that. You can actually see what was typed in today in the chat box as it plays. Okay, in real time, as the video progresses, the chat box populates. Okay, with all these comments and stuff. So you get to go back and watch it in its entirety. A lot of people don't know how to YouTube. Okay, so I just thought I'd give you that. Yeah, I do. I listen to a lot of YouTube when I'm at the gym. Okay, I'll get on there. I have my channels, you know, Brian's one of them, Tim's another one. Several of the guys that are doing retirement channels that I enjoy listening to. And sometimes other things, sometimes photography related channels, but I'll put my little phone, I'll put my iPhone up on the treadmill and put it on play and put my earbuds in and do my walking, and I'll actually watch the YouTube video while I'm walking. And if I get up in the morning and there's a YouTube video that has come out and it's interesting to me, I won't watch it here at home. I'll save it till I go to the gym. I go to the gym on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. and I'll save it and watch it at the gym. Now, that's only when I'm on the treadmill. When I'm doing the weight machines and stuff, I just listen to Sirius XM. I got a subscription to Sirius XM. Classic rock's my thing, and anything from the 70s I like to listen to, so I put it on that channel, and I play music while I'm using. It keeps the noise out from the gym, the clanking of everything, and it also, if I'm on the treadmill, inevitably somebody will be beside me, and they'll be talking to the person beside them. And if you're on a treadmill, you're going to be at a pretty loud volume. Well, I don't really want to hear what they got to say, so that's why I put my earbuds in. And I've got the earbud, the Apple Earbud Pros. I shouldn't have done that. It came up on my phone. So they have the noise canceling feature on them, so I can change that to different levels of noise transparency. I can crank it up where you can't hear nothing in the gym. All you hear is what's in the earbuds. That's pretty cool. Brian, he says, I am a 221, whatever that is. LOL. Must be an inside joke. Anyways, yeah, so what did I do today? I went to the gym today, but I took my mother, that's another video, okay, helping your senior parents, but I took my mother to the grocery store, which is in the same plaza that I go to Planet Fitness. So she's 88, okay. We have stopped her from driving, okay, and I'm going to tell you in the video how hard that was, okay, but I think she realizes now that she should not be driving, okay. I was surprised. She got her driver's license renewed late last year, and from what I understand, if you go to the driver's testing place and you don't act right, that the tester has the option of retesting you that right on the spot. And she got her driver's license renewed for like another 7 or 8 years, but it has gotten to the point where we've had to stop her from driving because she has some medical conditions that are unpredictable, and it could be bad, okay, but it took us a long time to get to that part, okay. You know, I wish she had been a little bit easier, but now I think she's finally realized that we are right, that she should not be driving. The biggest thing is I got to get my stepdad to actually do some of the driving, because he has no interest in going to the places she wants to go, which is kind of selfish in my opinion. But you know, I have got him to take her to the grocery store on Fridays every other week. So we're kind of sharing in the responsibilities. And I personally, I don't mind. I have actually been to the grocery store with her, give her freedom. I go off with my own cart, another direction, give her freedom. But today I dropped her off and I said, you text me when you're ready, I'm going over to the gym. So I went over to the gym and did my workout, and I was just about finished when she texted me, said, I'm done, and I'll meet you out front. And I went in there and picked her up out front and brought her back home. Okay, we drive her car. She has a little Honda, Honda. She has a little Nissan Rogue that we take, so, you know. So, oh, I get it. Okay. So, yeah, what they're saying is subscriber 221 and 222. I get it now. Ha ha. Yeah. Let's see. What pressure's that, Brian? I tell you what, I sit here all the time, and I do get some ideas from my comments, so keep putting comments on the videos. It gives me an idea to do a video about something, and if there's enough comments, it stirs my brain enough to do some research on the topic to give you the correct information that I find out. I really like talking about my personal experiences, because I think as we get older, those are the valuable ones, the valuable personal experience that we can give to the younger people, and hopefully help them from making the same mistakes. You know, when I was younger, we didn't have all this YouTube stuff, okay? I don't even know how we would have, you know, been coached on retirement savings and all that. You know, I've mentioned this, I think, in one of my videos, that I was a late bloomer when it came to that, okay? To starting my retirement savings and stuff. and I wish I'd started 10 years sooner. It's okay though, I'll be all right. I just wish I'd started 10 years sooner, okay? Yeah, Todd says on both of us. Joe said, my dad self-identified as needing to stop driving at 92. He did it willingly, but still complains about it. Well, it's good that he did that, okay, willingly. I know I've talked to Tim about it in here. I think his mom did it willingly. My wife's mom, she did it willingly. You know, it's scary, okay, because I see a lot of weird accidents happen from people who get confused about which pedal they put their foot on, all right? You know, it was like, I was fortunate. I think it took a lot out of me to get my mom to realize that she should not be driving anymore, even though the doctor told her that too. You know, every time we go to the doctor, that would be a question she asked. Is it okay if I drive? I had one doctor said, yeah. I went, geez, we're trying to get her to stop, man. And you tell her, yeah, sure, I don't see any reason why you can't drive. She just got rolled out of the doctor's office on a gurney on an ambulance ride for a heart condition, and you tell her it's okay, she can drive. What an idiot. I don't know. Oh. Yeah, I know, Joe. Hopefully, Joe, you know, I stick around long enough and some of the other channels you watch and you start feeling more comfortable. Joe, for those that don't know, Joe has a little bit of anxiety about retiring, but I think he's starting to come out of his shell a little bit, seeing that you're going to be okay, okay? You know, you're going to be okay. You know, there's some other things to consider, but from a day-to-day living standpoint, you're going to be okay. And like I said earlier on the live stream, Sunday, I'm going to release my budget, my expense video for January. And there's a few little hiccups in there, okay? They'll be in on the video. There's a few things that happened that we weren't expecting, okay? So Jim said, same here, but I'm turning 60 on March the 5th and retiring on March the 17th. What are you doing? This is a good sidebar here. What are you doing for insurance between 60 and 65? Give us a talk on that. Cass says, something that helped us when we went to the ER was that we had a pre-printed info sheet that we handed to the admitting person. He was having trouble talking, so this info helped. So yeah, so that's important. On my phone, okay, under my contacts for my mother, her contact, there's a place to put notes. I have her prescriptions in there, and I update that pretty regular because I'm the one that fills her little, let me show you, I got one of them, fills her little pill bottle thing, okay? I'm the one that fills that for her now. So I know what medicine she's taking, and I update that on my phone pretty regularly. So the last couple of times we've been to the hospital, I've just pulled it up on the phone and showed it to them, okay? And I've also, in addition, I've also started keeping track of her emergency room visits. And most of her emergency room visits have been for this heart condition she has. And we went to the heart doctor a couple weeks ago, and they wanted to stick one of these monitors in, these little heart monitor things under the skin, because they don't know what her heart's doing, why it's doing what it's doing, and they wanted to monitor her. And she didn't want to do it, okay? In fact, we canceled it. She did not want to do it, she said. I said, okay. I said, I'm just telling you that, you know, we will never find out what's wrong. I said, if you're not going to do this, then we might as well just cancel all your heart doctor appointments, because at this point, they cannot even help you with your problem until they know more about you, okay? And you're not willing to wear this heart monitor? She goes, fine by me. So I canceled her heart doctor appointments for now, okay? She may change her mind later, and I told the little girl when we canceled the procedure to put this in, I said, hold on to the paperwork, put it in your file. She may change her mind in 2 or 3 months and want to have it done. But I don't think she really wants to know what's wrong with her. I think she's accepted the fact that she might die at any minute, and she's actually ready for that, I think, okay? She says she is, But when her and I sit down and talk, I tell her point blank, I don't believe you. I don't believe you, okay? Well, what do you mean you don't believe me? I says, what you're saying, I don't believe what you're saying to me, that you're ready to die. I think you're not, okay? I don't believe you. Because they do tell it. I think you might have heard that from some of your senior parents at one time. Yes, a loop monitor. Exactly, Todd. That's what it was. Let's see. Joe says, everyone talks about losing relationships when they retire. I'm finding we will just make new relationships like friends on YouTube who are in the same place in life. Exactly. You know, even though we don't get to sit in front of each other and talk to each other, we talk, okay, basically. And it's pretty cool to be able to do this, you know. Someday you might get to the point, Joe, where you have live streams on your channel where you can actually talk to your subscribers. And, you know, when you first start out doing these live streams, there's not going to be a big crowd there. And that's really a good thing, okay? You don't want a big crowd. But you will build the audience. I do these live streams to talk to you, just like you said, Joe, like we were sitting there in front of each other having a lunch and talking about stuff, okay? And I can go on, okay? My wife says I talk too much. But you need to have the gift of gab, I think, to be on YouTube. So yeah, it's called a loop monitor, so she doesn't want to have that done, and I'm not going to make her do it. We went to see her primary care last week about some issues, and they've been trying to find a solution to some problems she's having. And finally, the last doctor visit I went with her, Megan is her PA's name. She's a real nice girl. And she's easy on the eyes too. But my mom told her, Megan asked her, she's been trying different things to try to solve the problem. My mom finally got this out of her mouth. She said, I just want some relief. So Megan says, oh, okay, so you're just wanting some relief. Immediately, she changed some prescription medications of her and sent us home with some different things. And it's been a week now, and I asked my mom today, so how are you feeling with your new medicine? Are you feeling better? She goes, yes, I actually am feeling better. So instead of solving the problem, they're just kind of comforting her or you know, giving her some relief from the problem, okay? And there's really not a problem. The problem with my mom is nerves. It has to do with her nerves, okay? And that's the kind of medicine they've been giving her, stuff to help her with her nerves. It says, well, Ron, when you hit 100,000 subs, you can organize a meetup, maybe a subscriber cruise. I don't know if I'll make it to 100,000, okay? I've had fun getting to 4,600, and you know, it's slowed down a lot since my viral video last month. It's actually tanking down pretty fast. That's okay. I'll just keep making videos, and another one of them will go viral another day, and I'll get another 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers. Let's see, Jim said, we're keeping our current insurance until we turn 65 for $650 a month through a retirement package I'm getting. Well, that's actually pretty good, because if you were on, for me and my wife, if you're on a plan G or plan N, which is supplement, then you would be paying, you know, probably about $400 a month for that. It depends. And that's like the low end of it. Okay, they just went up on ours this year, about $20 each. And I understand as we get older, they keep going up. So it's as cheap as it's going to be when you first get it, I guess. Okay, and so $650 a month is not bad, and that's why it's important, I think, to have that savings saved up to be able to retire early before 65 and afford your insurance. That's a big thing that I think a lot of people don't think about much, is how they're going to pay for their insurance. There's a guy on YouTube named Joe Kuhn, I think his name, and I was watching his video today, and he said something about he retired like when he was 53. So he's got like 12 years of insurance that he has to carry, okay, until he's 65. Anyways, we're going to wrap it up here in just a minute. Brian says, thank you for letting me sit in this afternoon, Ron. Also, thank you to the new subscribers. I'm heading to the gym. Have a great weekend, everybody. Brian, you and Denise have a great time on your vacation. I know it's approaching very soon. And hopefully you can do some live streams from over there. That would be pretty cool. Enjoy seeing Denise on your channel too, Brian. Keep her coming, okay? All right, listen. Thank you all for being here tonight. And I'll see you guys again next Friday. Same time, same place, same bat channel, okay? All right, we'll see you guys later. Okay, bye-bye.